In this episode of the Baofeng Files, I will show you how to add channel names to your Baofeng UV-5R or similar radios, so that instead of the screen looking like this, it will look like this. What I'm about to show you will work on any Baofeng UV-5R and similar radios. Basically, if your radio looks like this, it will work. You can also do it on other two-way radios that don't look exactly like this, but the menu settings might be slightly different. To be able to add and display channel names instead of just frequencies, you will need three things. Number A, you will need a two-way radio. Number three, you will need a cable to connect the radio to your computer. And number four, you will need the free Chirp software installed on your computer. One of these cables costs about $24 of monies, and I will put an affiliate link to the more information section of this video directly to where you can buy one. This is the cable that I've been using for almost 10 years, and it has never let me down. The cable comes with a CD-ROM that has USB drivers on it, but you should not need to use those, so don't even bother, because on most computers, it just works. And you should be aware that you can find cables for less monies, a few less monies, but those are often not compatible with all versions of Windows, and they are also less reliable. So don't be a cheapskate and try to save a few monies, because it's probably not worth all of your wasted time and rage that will no doubt ensue if you try to buy a cheaper one. And yes, some people will no doubt leave stupid comments on this video complaining that the cable costs more than the radio does, and if you were one of those people about to leave that comment, congratulations on being able to do third-grade math. The second thing that you're going to need is the free Chirp software. Chirp is a free program that runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and allows you to very easily program your radio from the comfort of your computer, and it lets you make changes and settings that you cannot do directly on the radio itself in the menus. One such example would be adding channel names. I will put a link to where you can download the free Chirp software in the more information section of this video below, but beware, there are advertisements on that website, and if you click on one of those advertisements, the ad will try to sell you something, so be sure to actually use your eyes and read the words on the screen before you go blindly clicking on things like you probably usually do. After you figure out how to get the free Chirp software installed on your computer, simply connect the radio to the cable, and when you think it's connected, press it one more time to make sure it really is connected in there all the way. Turn the radio on and be sure to set the volume to around halfway or 75%. If the volume is too low, your computer will not be able to read the electronic digital signals coming out of the radio. Then fire up your freshly installed Chirp software. The first step will be to download the contents of everything already in your radio into the Chirp software so that you can edit it. And to do that, simply go to the Radio menu and select Download from Radio. Then select the brand and model of your radio from the drop-down lists, again, remembering to actually read the words on the screen in front of you before blindly clicking on anything. If you cannot find your radio in the list, go to your favorite search engine or AI and find out if your specific brand and model radio is listed in the Chirp software under a different name. This is because many brand radios are just copies of other radios with different stickers on them, and Chirp may have it listed as a different radio. Once you get that all figured out, click on the OK button, and if you've done everything right and actually read all of the words up to this point, all the contents of your radio will show up on your computing device screen. It is at this point that you should take a moment to save all of these settings as a file on your computer. This file will act as a backup of your radio should you start blindly clicking on things and screw it all up. After you have saved that file into a secure location, you can then begin the process of trying not to screw up your radio like you've probably screwed up everything else in your life up to this point. On the screen, you will find all of the channels and settings in the radio. Yours may look different from mine, but you should see something. And all you need to do is either modify an existing channel or create a new one with the channel name. Thusly, you will be limited to 7 characters only on most radios, and most radios will only allow simple letters and numbers. That means no explanation points or emoji faces. You can ignore all these other columns unless you know what you're doing. The mode should be FM, and you can set the power to either low or high. It really doesn't matter. The next thing you have to do is click on the Settings tab. Then on the left side of the screen, make sure that you are clicked on to the Basic Settings section. Then in the middle of the screen, in the Display Mode A and Display Mode B sections, make sure that Name is selected for both. Thusly. And most importantly, make sure that this box at the bottom has a check mark in it. That is pretty much it as far as the changes that you need to make. But you still have to save these changes back into the radio for them to take effect, and you do this by going to the radio menu again, but this time selecting Upload to Radio, and then click on the OK button, and after a moment, these changes will be uploaded into your radio. To view your fancy new channels with names, all you have to do now is make sure that you switch the radio from Direct Entry Mode, also referred to as VFO mode by us radio experts. Switch from VFO mode to channel mode by smashing this big orange button. And now that the radio is in channel mode, you will see the channels that you created with their corresponding names. Congratulations, you are now a certified Hams Radios operator.